The night sky over Earth looked calm, but deep in space, something dangerous was moving fast. At first, it was only a shadow, silent, huge, and cold. Then it became a shape, then a fleet, and then an army. These were not ordinary visitors. They were the elite hunters of the galaxy, creatures feared on more than 1,000 worlds. Tall, armored, and bred only for one purpose, to hunt the strongest living beings. Tonight, they had come for Earth. No warning, no message, no mercy. At 2:14 a.m., alarms screamed in every global control center. Satellites near the upper atmosphere started blinking one by one like candle flames being blown out. The screens in the command rooms turned white. The numbers disappeared. The radar lines froze. Something was blocking them, something intelligent, something massive. General Harris, an old iron-faced man, rushed into the military command chamber wearing a half-buttoned uniform. His hair was messy, his eyes were red, but his voice still carried the force of 20 years of experience. "What do we have?" he barked. A young technician stuttered as he pulled up shaky visuals. "Sir, something just arrived at the edge of Earth's orbit. We have multiple ships, very large." "How many?" Harris demanded. The technician swallowed hard. "All of them, sir." The general's chest tightened. "All what?" The man whispered the answer. "All elite hunter-class ships." The room went silent. People stopped moving. Some even stopped breathing. Everyone knew the elite hunters. Everyone feared them. These were the monsters that destroyed cities on other planets, not because they wanted to conquer them, but because they wanted sport. They hunted the strongest creature of every world and used it in deadly, brutal games for entertainment. And now, Earth was on their list. A loud boom shook the monitors. A giant hologram suddenly formed in the middle of the command room. It flickered like blue lightning, then sharpened into a horrifying figure. It was the Hunter Commander, a towering alien covered in biomechanical armor, his eyes glowing like dark fire. His voice growled like metal scraping stone. "People of Earth, prepare your champion." Gasps echoed through the room. The creature leaned closer into the hologram, letting everyone see the rows of sharp teeth behind its mask. "We have arrived for the strongest among you. The one chosen will be taken to the great hunt." General Harris stepped forward. "What gives you the right?" The hunter ignored him. "If you refuse, your species will be exterminated." The hologram vanished. The room exploded into panic. Ministers shouted. Officers paced. Scientists scrambled for solutions no one had. A global emergency meeting was launched within minutes. Earth had 7 hours. 7 hours to choose a champion. But how do you pick the strongest human? A soldier, an athlete, a martial artist, a scientist with enhanced gear? Everyone had an opinion. Everyone argued. Everyone panicked. To end the chaos, the Global Council decided to use a device sent by the hunters, a strange cube that scanned strength potential. The cube was placed in the middle of the room. It lit up with alien symbols. General Harris announced, "We will let the device choose. Whoever it picks will represent humanity." People held their breath. The cube fired a beam of light into the air. It spun, glitching, buzzing, humming. Then suddenly it projected a picture of a teenage boy, a 17-year-old kid in messy hair, a hoodie, and half-sleepy eyes, a kid with a backpack on one shoulder and a bored expression. A kid who looked like he didn't even want to be there. His name appeared above him in glowing alien text, Evan Marshall, selected human. The room reacted instantly. "What? Is this a joke? That kid, he looks like he hates waking up. Find him now." General Harris rubbed his forehead. He had survived alien attacks, wars, disasters, but this hurt his brain. "Someone get me everything about this kid," he muttered. Within minutes, Evan's information appeared on a huge holographic screen. Name: Evan Marshall. Age: 17. School: Westridge. High grades, mostly average. Sports: none. Martial arts: none. Attendance: poor. Discipline record: several notes for sleeping in class, ignoring teachers, and general laziness. The council stared at the screen, silence. Then one minister whispered, "This is the end of Earth." The search for Evan. While the world panicked, Evan was sleeping on his rooftop, listening to music through old headphones. The stars were bright, and the night breeze felt peaceful. He had no idea the universe was looking for him. Down the street, military trucks rolled in, helicopters hovered, agents in black suits scanned every house with strange devices. Soldiers surrounded his neighborhood, dogs barked, neighbors peeked from windows, spotlights swept across rooftops. Evan opened one eye. "What the?" Before he could react, a spotlight locked onto him. "There he is," a voice shouted. A dozen soldiers ran to the house, climbed the ladder to the roof, and formed a circle around him. Evan pulled out his headphones and sat up slowly. Did I forget to pay taxes or something?" General Harris appeared behind the soldiers, panting and sweating from having rushed up the stairs. "Evan Marshall, yeah, you've been selected." "For what? Summer school?" "No," the general said. "By aliens." Evan blinked. "I'm going back to sleep." He lay down again. Two soldiers stared at General Harris as if asking, "Should we pick him up?" Harris sighed. "No, let me try." He sat beside Evan, who still looked half asleep. "Young man, the elite hunters are here." Evan shrugged. "Okay, they plan to take our strongest human." "Cool, they chose you." Evan slowly sat up again. "Me? Why me?" "That is the million-dollar question," Harris said. Evan rubbed his eyes. Sorry, sir, but I'm not strong. I don't even like gym. I just want to sleep. We don't have a choice, Harris said. They gave us 7 hours. Evan sighed deeply. Why couldn't they pick someone like, I don't know, a bodybuilder or a karate guy? Why me? General Harris stood and crossed his arms. I don't know, but the alien machine picked you, and if we refuse, Earth is finished. Evan looked up at the sky. A giant ship slowly passed overhead, dark and monstrous like a moving mountain. He swallowed hard. Fine, I guess I'm coming. The world prepares. The news exploded globally. A teenage boy selected to save Earth. Aliens demand human champion. Who is Evan Marshall? Some people cried, some protested, some prayed, others simply stared at their screens, confused. Evan stood inside the briefing room, surrounded by dozens of officials who all looked tired, defeated, and stressed. General Harris pointed at a huge hologram. These aliens hunt the strongest beings in the galaxy. They have never lost. Any planet that refuses gets destroyed. Evan raised his hand. Do they expect me to fight them? Yes, Harris said. Evan lowered his hand. Yeah, I'm gonna die. The general shook his head. Not if we help you. We will give you gear, training, weapons. A loud alarm suddenly blared. Everyone froze. The hologram of the hunter commander appeared again. Earth, your time is up. Outside. The sky glowed red. Clouds twisted unnaturally. A massive beam of energy shot down from orbit, shaking the ground. Send your champion now. Evan's throat felt dry. Well, he muttered, guess I don't get to eat breakfast. The abduction before anyone could act, a blinding blue ring formed around Evan's feet. It hummed like a swarm of bees. Get him out of the circle, Harris shouted, but it was too late. The ring shot upward like a cage of light. Evan's body lifted into the air. He tried grabbing onto a table, but his hands slipped. Hey, wait, I didn't say yes yet. The light intensified. Harris lunged forward, reaching for Evan's arm, but the teenager vanished in a burst of blue fire. Gone, taken. The room went silent. General Harris stood motionless, staring at the empty space. A soldier stepped beside him. Sir, what do we do now? Harris clenched his fists. We pray he's stronger than he looks. Evan's new reality. Evan woke up inside a dark chamber. Cold metal, heavy air, strange humming. He sat up slowly. His hoodie was gone. His backpack was gone. He wore a strange black suit that felt like a second skin. A door slid open. A tall alien hunter entered, covered in armor, carrying a massive weapon. Evan whispered, please tell me this is a dream. The alien spoke in a deep, rumbling voice. Welcome, human. You have been chosen for the great hunt. Evan stared at him, then he sighed. Great, and I didn't even get breakfast. The alien tilted its head, confused, but Evan didn't care. The universe picked him, Earth depended on him, and somewhere deep inside him, a place he had never explored, something dangerous slowly woke up, something the hunters did not expect. The metal door slid shut behind the armored alien, leaving Evan alone inside a strange glowing chamber. The air was cold and smelled like burnt wires. Lines of blue light ran through the walls like veins. The floor vibrated beneath him, rising and falling like a slow heartbeat. Evan rubbed his eyes. Okay, so this is real, not a dream. He stood up and touched the wall. It was smooth but alive, like metal breathing. A sharp electric pulse jumped into his hand. Oh great, even the walls hate me. He backed away, shaking his hand. The room hummed again. Then a cold voice echoed from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Human specimen detected. Evan spun around. Where are you? Don't be creepy. A small floating drone dropped from the ceiling. It had a single glowing eye and metal wings that hummed like insects. I am Unit V92, it said. My task is to record your death. Evan blinked once, twice. You record what now? Your death, the drone repeated. All humans usually die in the first round of the hunt. My job is to document the moment it happens. Evan frowned. Wow, you must be fun at parties. The drone tilted its metal body. What is a party? Evan sighed. Never mind. The training that isn't training. The drone hovered closer. You are required to prepare for the hunt. Great, Evan said. Do I get weapons? No. Armor? No. Shoes at least. No, you will die quickly. It is pointless. Evan stared at it with an annoyed face. Okay, listen, metal bug, I didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask to be the champion of Earth, but if I'm stuck here, at least give me something. The drone's single eye blinked. Your request is denied. Evan exhaled slowly. Fine, but just so you know, I hate mornings, and I hate being kidnapped, and I really hate when people, robots, tell me what to do. He stepped forward. The drone stepped backward. You are behaving unpredictably, it said. Most humans cry at this stage. Evan rubbed his face. Well, cry later. Right now I'm hungry. The arena preview. The drone rotated its eye and projected a hologram. Evan's eyes widened. A giant stadium, towers of black metal, fields filled with monstrous creatures, hunter warriors taller than humans carrying weapons that hum like fire, creatures with claws longer than swords, creatures that could swallow a car in one bite. You're sending me there? Correct. Evan placed both hands on his hips. Yeah, I'm 100% dead. Correct. Evan glared at the drone. I wasn't asking you. The hunters arrived. The door slammed open again. 4 hunters marched in, each one towering, each one wearing armor that looked like it was grown, not built. Their masks were shaped like skulls of extinct beasts. The leader stepped forward. Human, follow. Evan glanced at the drone. You're coming too? No, I will meet you after you die. Perfect. Can't wait. Evan followed the hunters through a long metallic hallway. The lights flashed red, the floor shook with every step the hunters took. The ship felt alive, watching him. "Do I get breakfast?" Evan asked. No answer. "Do I get water?" Silence. "Do you guys talk or just stomp around all day?" The hunters ignored him. Evan rolled his eyes. "Okay, cool." Silent treatment. "Love that." The hallway opened into a massive chamber, the drop gate. A giant circular portal hovered in the air, swirling like liquid metal. The sound was like thunder trapped inside a bottle. Evan took a step forward, staring. "What is that?" "Entrance to the hunt." The hunter commander. The air cracked with electricity. The hunter commander appeared, stepping out from behind a pillar like a demon emerging from smoke. His armor was thicker, grown like bone. His left arm was mechanical, humming with alien energy. His voice shook the chamber. "Human, you understand your role." Evan scratched the back of his head. "I mean, kind of. You want me to run around while monsters chase me?" The commander leaned closer. "Not chase." His red eyes glowed. "Kill." Evan swallowed. "Okay, thanks for clearing that up." The commander looked at the hunters beside him. "Prepare the subject." Two hunters grabbed Evan by the arms. "Hey, chill, I can walk." They ignored him and strapped a small device to the side of his neck. It clicked, releasing a tiny spark. Evan yelped. "What was that?" "Tracker," the commander said, "so your death can be confirmed." Evan stared at him with flat, deadpan eyes. "Okay, seriously, you guys need therapy." Evan's breaking point. The hunters pushed him toward the glowing portal. His feet dragged across the cold floor. Evan felt anger bubbling inside him, slow, hot, rising. First, he was dragged out of his home. Then he was told he would die, then mocked, then ignored, then treated like trash, and now they were about to throw him into a death arena like he was nothing. The anger inside him grew stronger. Evan clenched his fists. "Stop." The hunters ignored him. "Stop, I said stop." Something changed. The air around his hands shimmered. The metal on his wrists bent subtly, almost like it was being pulled toward him. A faint ripple of energy ran through his fingers. The hunters froze. "What is that?" one growled. Evan blinked. "What is what?" He looked at his hands. They were glowing faintly, very faintly, like the heat rising from a road on a sunny day. Evan pulled his hands apart and the light vanished instantly. "Ooh, was that me?" The commander stepped closer, eyes narrowing. "Human, what did you just do?" Evan backed away. "I don't know, it just happened." The commander studied him. For the first time, there was a spark of something new in his voice. Not hatred, not arrogance, not cruelty, but fear. "Impossible," he growled. "Humans do not possess this trait." Evan raised an eyebrow. "Trait, dude, I barely passed biology." The commander glared. "Take him to the portal, now." The drop into madness. The hunters dragged Evan toward the swirling portal. His feet scraped the metal. His heart pounded. The portal hummed louder, pulling air and dust toward its center. It felt like a giant mouth ready to swallow him. Evan struggled. "Let go, I'm not ready." "No one is ready," a hunter replied. "That is the point." They shoved him forward. Evan stumbled, arms flailing, and fell into the portal. The world changes. Evan's body twisted through light and darkness. Shapes blurred. His stomach flipped. His ears popped. His mind spun. Then boom. He hit the ground hard, rolling onto rough dirt. When he opened his eyes, his breath stopped. He was in a massive alien forest. Trees made of black stone. Leaves glowing blue like neon fire. Creatures crawling across the branches, watching him with too many eyes. A sky swirling with purple storms. Evan pushed himself up. He whispered, "Welcome to hell, Evan." A deep roar shook the ground. Evan froze. From behind a stone tree, a creature crawled out, its body long and armored, its jaws filled with jagged bone teeth. Its eyes glowed like molten metal. It sniffed the air. It smelled him. Evan took a slow step backward. The creature hissed. Evan whispered, "Can I go home now?" The creature charged. Evan spun and ran. Branches cracked under his feet. The ground shook. The monster roared behind him. Evan jumped over a root, slipped on glowing moss, crashed into a bush, rolled down a slope, and hit a giant rock. His head spun as the creature rushed closer. Evan whispered breathlessly, "This is it. I'm dead. Level 1, 0 points." The creature lunged. Evan threw his arms up. A shockwave exploded outward. The creature was blasted backward, slamming into a tree so hard the trunk cracked. Evan's hands glowed again, this time brighter, stronger. Evan stared at them in shock. "What am I?" The forest didn't breathe. It watched. Every branch, every glowing leaf, every silent creature hidden in the shadows stared at Evan like he was an intruder. Air hummed with strange energy. It felt like the whole world wanted him gone. Evan stood there, chest rising and falling, hands still glowing faintly. The monster he blasted lay unconscious against the cracked tree. He whispered, "That wasn't normal. That definitely wasn't normal." His fingers tingled with leftover heat. His pulse beat too fast. His mind screamed, asking 100 questions at once. What was that power? How did he do it? Why did the alien commander look scared? Why did the machine choose him? Evan tried to calm down, taking slow breaths. "This place wants to kill me. I need to think fast." The forest floor rumbled slightly. Something huge moved far away. A tree cracked. Another roar echoed, deeper than the last. Evan's eyes widened. This was the small one. He didn't want to wait around for the bigger thing. He started running through the unnatural jungle, weaving through black stone trees and glowing vines. The leaves brushed against his arms like cold metal feathers. Steps, breathing, whispers, something was following him. Evan's heart pounded harder. He wasn't alone. Star, the first hunter, watches far above on a cliff hidden behind black fog. An elite hunter warrior watched Evan through a strange visor. Its 3 eyes blinked slowly as it analyzed the human. Subject displays anomalous energy signatures. The hunter whispered into a communicator. A voice replied, "Impossible. Humans are weak." The warrior zoomed in on Evan's glowing hands. "This one is not weak." Star, Evan enters the arena after running for 10 minutes. Evan reached a cliff, a drop so deep he couldn't see the bottom stretched before him. "Cool," he muttered, "death by gravity." He turned back, the forest behind him shimmered and then melted away like liquid glass. Evan froze, a giant holographic dome above him flickered. The sky wasn't a sky, it was a projection. The trees weren't trees, the ground wasn't real. He was in a massive arena disguised as a forest. Great, so the Hunger Games but alien edition. The hologram shifted, a metallic voice filled the air. "Round 1, survive the hunt." Evan's stomach dropped. "Round 1, there are more." The ground shook violently. Evan turned. The monster he blasted earlier had gotten back up and it was furious. Its jaw opened sideways, dripping glowing blue saliva. Its claws clicked against the stone. Its eyes were no longer curious, they were hungry. Evan whispered, "Okay, buddy, can we talk about this?" The creature roared and charged. Star, the fight. Evan jumped aside just as the monster slammed into the ground, breaking stone like glass. Evan scrambled behind a rock, his heart hammered, his breathing shook. "I'm gonna die, I'm actually gonna die." The creature leaped again. Evan rolled away, feeling claws slice the air inches from his head. "I need a weapon." He grabbed a long piece of cracked metal lying on the ground, maybe part of the arena. It was heavy, rough, and sharp on one end. The creature lunged. Evan swung. Clang, the metal bar slammed against the monster's skull. It staggered but didn't fall. Evan's arms shook. "That should have knocked you out." The monster reared back. Evan did the only thing he could. He ran. Star, Evan's strange power grows. Branches tore at his clothes. Rocks cut his skin. The forest bent around him like a maze, but the monster kept chasing him closer and faster. Evan jumped over a fallen tree, then tripped. He fell face first into glowing moss. The monster leaped toward him, claws extended. Evan screamed and threw his hands up. Boom, a shockwave blasted outward, stronger this time, louder, violent. The creature flew backward again, smashing into a boulder so hard it split in half. Evan lifted his glowing hands. "What are you?" His heart pounded, but he wasn't tired. He felt good, alive, awake. For the first time in his life, he felt energy rushing through his veins like wildfire. He whispered, "This isn't normal, this is something else." Star, the arena reacts. The forest lights flickered. The ground flashed red. A voice boomed overhead, warning, "Human displaying unregistered energy type." Hunters in distant watchtowers turned their attention toward Evan. Screens displayed his face. Symbols flashed rapidly. "This human is not ordinary. Analyze again. Energy signature is unknown. Did Earth hide a weapon? Was the human modified?" The hunters argued, the council panicked, and the hunter commander watched in silence, eyes burning with confusion. He whispered, "How is a human doing that?" Star, a new enemy enters. Evan looked around, trying to plan his next move. "Okay, one monster down, or kinda down, probably unconscious, maybe." Hopefully, he took a step back. The ground suddenly vibrated harder. Evan froze. A second creature stepped out of the shadows, then a third, then a fourth, all bigger, all deadlier, all staring at him. Evan whispered, "Oh, come on, how many levels are here?" The creatures circled him slowly, their bodies twitching with hunger. Evan looked at his hands. "Please work, please." He raised his palms. The air hummed. His fingers tingled. One of the creatures lunged. Evan pushed his hands forward. Nothing happened. Evan's eyes widened. "Oh, you're kidding me." The creatures attacked. Star, the chase without end. Evan sprinted into the trees. The creatures chased after him, roaring and snapping their jaws. He jumped over roots. He ducked under vines. He slid down slopes. "Come on, hands, do the glowy thing again." Nothing great, perfect. His new power was basically a Wi-Fi signal, strong sometimes, drops when needed most. The creatures gained on him. Evan spotted a narrow crack between 2 huge stone trees. He dove inside. The creatures rammed into the trees, claws scraping. Evan squeezed deeper into the crack, heart pounding. The creatures snarled, their claws stabbing through the gap, just missing his face. He whispered, "I need a plan, fast." Star, Evan discovers an old ruin. Evan crawled deeper through the narrow tunnel. The glow from the moss lit the path. After a minute, the tunnel opened into a small cave. He froze. Symbols covered the walls, ancient, glowing faintly. A broken statue stood in the center, depicting a tall humanoid figure with cracks in its stone armor. A bowl-shaped object lay in front of it. Evan stepped closer. "What is this place?" He touched one of the symbols. His hand glowed brighter. The symbol glowed back. Evan gasped. "It reacts to me." He touched another, more glow, another, even more. The whole room lit up with pale blue light. Something ancient woke, something that recognized him. Evan stepped back. "Nope, no, I don't want to awaken anything." The cave floor trembled gently. A soft voice whispered in his mind like a memory he never lived. "Chosen, awaken." Evan stumbled back. "What? No, wrong guy, I didn't choose anything." The symbols pulsed brighter. His hands glowed again, stronger, more stable. He looked at them. Okay. Maybe not wrong, guy. Star the creatures returned. The creatures outside roared again. The tunnel shook. Claws scraped stone. They had found a way around. Evan's breath caught in his throat. He raised his glowing hands. This time the light didn't fade. It grew. A warmth spread through his arms. His heartbeat steadied. His fear melted away. His mind cleared. He whispered, I can do this. The creatures burst into the cave, tearing through walls. Evan stepped forward. For once, I'm not running. The first creature lunged. Evan thrust his hand toward it. Boom. The entire cave flashed white. When the light faded, the creatures lay unconscious, thrown back into the forest. Evan stood alone in the cave, hands smoking gently. He was breathing hard but smiling. I knew it. I can do this. Star the Who enters. Panic back at the arena control tower. Alarms blared. Hunters scrambled around. Screens lit up with Evan's energy signature. Impossible. The human unlocked the ruins. No species has ever done that. He activated something ancient. The hunter commander watched, silent and furious. He growled, this human is dangerous, too dangerous. He turned toward his elite guards, send in the next wave and prepare the champion hunters. A guard hesitated, but Commander, the boy is not a boy anymore. His voice boomed, he is a threat. Star Evan takes his first step as a hunter. Evan walked out of the cave, the wind brushing his face. The arena looked different now, not terrifying but challenge-filled. He felt stronger, awake, alive. He whispered with a small grin, round one, let's see what you got. And somewhere deep in the arena, something enormous roared back. The arena forest was no longer silent. The ground vibrated with something massive approaching. Trees bent, leaves shook. Even the glowing insects hiding under stones fled into cracks. Evan didn't run this time. He stood straight, his hands still warm with the strange energy he unlocked inside the ancient cave. His breathing was steady, eyes sharp, heart calm. It felt good, too good, almost like this power had always been inside him, waiting for the right moment to wake up. He whispered to himself, okay, so what now, round 2 or round I'm gonna die again? A distant roar answered him. But this roar wasn't animal, it was metal, it was rage, it was a hunter. Star the hunter elites arrived from the shadows of the forest. 3 massive figures emerged. They were not normal hunters, they were the elite trial hunters, tall enough to touch tree branches, wearing armor grown from living bone metal. Their masks were covered in glowing runes. They were built to kill champions from other worlds. Evan blinked. Oh great, boss fight. The leader stepped forward. His voice crackled with harsh static. Human, you show strength unusual for your kind. Evan crossed his arms. Thanks, and you look like a refrigerator with legs. The hunters froze. Did the human just insult them? Evan shrugged. Hey, if you're gonna chase me through the forest, at least let me have some fun. The leader growled. You are not here to enjoy, you are here to survive. Evan nodded. Cool, then come try. Star the first attack. The first elite hunter moved so fast the air cracked. He swung a giant plasma blade toward Evan's head. Evan ducked. The blade cut through a stone tree like paper. Evan rolled backward, grabbing a broken metal branch. It hummed with leftover energy. The hunter came again, arms raised. Evan swung the metal branch. Clang, the impact rattled his bones, but he stayed standing. The hunter skidded back, surprised. Human strength, Evan smirked. You started it. The hunter roared and charged again. This time, Evan felt the energy rise in his hands, warm, buzzing, alive. He held the metal branch tightly and swung with all his force. Boom, the shockwave blasted from the branch like a sonic explosion. The hunter was thrown backward, crashing into 2 trees, snapping both in half. Evan stared at his own hands. Okay, that was awesome. Star the second hunter, the sniper, the second elite hunter didn't charge. Instead, he climbed onto a tall stone pillar. He extended his arm, transforming it into a high-energy rail cannon. A glowing blue orb charged at the barrel. Evan cursed. Oh come on, you guys have guns too. The sniper fired. The shot ripped through the forest like a comet. Evan dove behind a rock, the blast shaking the ground. Dust exploded everywhere. Evan peeked out. Okay, gotta take him out first. He sprinted through the trees, dodging shot after shot. The sniper fired again and again, each blast making the ground crack open. Evan jumped behind another tree. The sniper aimed. Evan whispered, please work, please. His hand glowed. The sniper fired. Evan punched forward. A blast of energy shot from his fist. The 2 attacks collided in midair. Crackboom, the explosion threw both Evan and the sniper backward. Evan hit the ground hard, skidding across dirt. His vision spun, but he stood up. The sniper was still regaining balance on the pillar. Evan picked up a stone shard, aimed and threw it. The shard glowed midair, charged with energy he didn't put in but somehow summoned. The shard hit the sniper square in the mask. Cracked, the sniper fell off the pillar like a bag of metal. Evan winced. That probably hurt. Star the third hunter, the tank, the ground thundered. Trees snapped. The biggest elite hunter Evan had ever seen stomped into the clearing. A giant, 7 feet tall. 4 arms, armor thick as a tank. He growled. Human, now you fight me. Evan's heart skipped. Oh cool, the final boss. The tank hunter charged. The impact of his steps felt like small earthquakes. Evan ran to the left then right, trying to confuse him, but the hunter was fast despite his size. He swung an arm. Evan ducked. He swung another. Evan slid under it. This time the hunter grabbed him by the leg and smashed him into the ground. Ah! Pain shot through Evan's back. He kicked, but the hunter threw him like a rag doll. Evan crashed into a glowing tree. Sparks burst from the trunk. He groaned. Oh, okay, that sucked. The tank hunter stomped forward, his shadow covering Evan. He raised his massive foot. Evan's eyes widened. No, you don't. He rolled away just before the foot crushed the ground. Evan jumped forward and punched the hunter's shin. It felt like punching a moving car. Evan yelled in pain. Oh, why is he built like a planet? The hunter tried grabbing him again. Evan dodged, but barely. He was too slow, too tired, too hurt. His hands sparked but didn't light up fully. Come on, don't fail now. The tank hunter swung all four arms at once. Evan raised both hands defensively. Boom! The explosion of energy burst from Evan, blasting the hunter back several meters. The giant crashed into the ground, shaking the whole forest. Evan collapsed to one knee, breathing heavily. His hands smoked, his body trembled, but he was alive. The elites realized the truth. The hunters weren't dead, but they weren't getting up either. From the shadows above, dozens of hidden observers watched. Hunters, commanders, judges of the arena. One whispered, the human defeated 3 elites. Another whispered, with no armor. A third trembled. And using no weapon tech, a fourth asked the dangerous question, what is he? Their voices rose in chaos, but one voice silenced them all, the hunter commander. He stepped into the light of the viewing platform, his eyes burning red. He is a mistake, the commander growled. A weapon Earth did not know it had. Another hunter whispered, should we stop the trial? The commander banged his fist on the railing. No, we finish it now. Evan's realization. Evan stood among the broken elites. Sweat dripped down his face. His arms shook. His legs felt heavy as stone, but his mind, sharp, clear. For the first time, he truly understood something. He wasn't just surviving, he was winning. He whispered, I am actually doing this. I'm not prey, I'm not running, I'm fighting. He looked at his glowing hands. A small smile crept across his face. If these guys are hunters, he looked around at the damaged forest, the fallen elites, and the still twitching monsters he knocked out earlier. Then what does that make me? The hunters hunt him. A loud alarm blared across the arena. Red sky, flickering walls, ground trembling. A voice boomed overhead. New rule, target is now a priority threat. All hunters engage. Evan's face drained. What, all of them? That's cheating. But he didn't have time to complain. Dozens of figures dropped from the sky, hunters from every clan. They landed around him, forming a giant circle of armed giants. Evan backed up slowly. Oh no, oh this is very bad, one hunter growled. Human, your luck ends here. Evan whispered, heart pounding, no it doesn't. He clenched his fists. They lit up brighter than ever before. He whispered, because now I'm hunting you. The arena trembled. Dozens, no, hundreds of hunters landed around Evan from every direction. The force of their arrival shook the forest floor, breaking stone, snapping glowing trees, and sending waves of dust into the air. Evan stood at the center of a giant ring of armored giants, warriors trained for centuries, killers from many planets, all focused on one human boy. A single quiet thought ran through Evan's mind, I should have stayed in bed. The biggest hunter stepped forward, armor crackling with energy. Human, your resistance ends now. Evan swallowed. You guys really don't like losing, huh? Another hunter snarled, we do not lose. Evan raised an eyebrow. Well, you're about to. The first attack, a wave of death. The ground cracked as 20 hunters charged at once. Their bodies moved like metal meteors, each step exploding dirt into the air. Evan braced himself. Okay, bad idea, very bad idea. One hunter swung a massive axe. Evan ducked. Another grabbed him. Evan twisted free. A third grabbed his hoodie. Rip. Evan stumbled back, barely avoiding a blade. Too many, too fast, too strong. He couldn't keep dodging forever. A hunter leaped from the side, bringing down a hammer the size of a car engine. Evan threw his hands up instinctively, and the world exploded. Boom! A shockwave burst out, throwing 10 hunters backward like leaves in a storm. Trees shattered, rocks flew, dust filled the air. Evan slid back but stayed standing. He stared at his glowing arms. Okay, that was new. Up in the sky, hunters watching from the hovering platforms gasped. His power grows, humans do not evolve this fast. Is he linked to the ancient ruins? The hunter commander's eyes narrowed. Continue the assault. The second wave, speed vs speed this time. The hunters didn't rush blindly. 5 hunter assassins appeared out of thin air, running faster than wind. Their armor shifted to camouflage with the forest. Their steps were silent. Their blades glowed. One whispered behind him, he can't dodge what he can't see. Evan spun around. But nothing was there. Suddenly a blade sliced past his cheek, another through his sleeve, another tore the ground beside him. Evan's heart pounded wildly. They were invisible, fast, too fast. He turned right, nothing, left, nothing behind. Evan barely dodged the attack. Okay, this is cheating, he yelled. A whisper came from the trees. It is the hunt, there is no fairness. Evan closed his eyes. He listened, steps, breathing, movement in the wind, the vibration of stone. He focused, the world slowed down. His hands glowed faintly there. Evan suddenly punched behind him. Crash, an invisible assassin flew out of camouflage, crashing into a tree. Evan spun and kicked another, caught a third by the arm, dodged the fourth with a mid-air jump, grabbed the fifth by the mask and slammed him into the ground. The onlooking hunters froze. He senses us. He reads our movement. He is adapting. Evan stood in the center, breathing hard but still strong. He whispered, "You wanted a hunt, here I am." Star the third wave, the beast unleashed, a horn blasted from the sky. Evan felt the air shift, trees shook, earth cracked, a massive shadow fell over him. "What now?" Evan muttered. From the darkness of the forest, something massive crawled out, a beast taller than houses, with armor made of living stone, glowing red eyes, and a mouth full of rotating bone teeth. A hunter titan. The hunters stepped back as it arrived, even they feared it. Evan stared upward. "Yeah, nope, this is definitely a boss battle." The titan roared, the sound so loud it made Evan's ears ring. Then the beast charged. Evan ran. He sprinted between trees, sliding under roots, dodging falling stone branches as the titan smashed through everything behind him. Boom, boom, boom. Each step felt like an earthquake. Evan turned around. The titan opened its mouth. A bright core lit up inside. "Oh, come on, IT has a laser mouth." A beam of burning light shot toward him. Evan jumped behind a tree. The beam sliced the tree in half, then another, and another. Evan was thrown by the blast wave. Dust and ash filled the air. He coughed, climbed up, and the titan charged again. He whispered, "Okay, Evan, think. You can't outrun that. You can't overpower that, so what do you do?" His hands tingled. His head buzzed. That strange energy inside him, it was calling. He clenched his teeth. No choice. He ran towards the titan. Hunters on the platforms gasped. "What is he doing? He will die. That is suicide." Evan sprinted straight at the beast. Its jaws opened. The core glowed. The beam began to charge. Evan yelled, "Come on." His hands exploded with light. He leaped and punched the titan in the mouth. Kathoom, a massive explosion threw the titan backward, rolling through the forest like a crashing mountain. Rocks shattered. Dust flew into the air like a storm. Hunters leaped out of the way. When the smoke cleared, the titan lay still. Evan collapsed to one knee, arms shaking. "Haha, I really need to stop punching faces." Star the hunters began to fear him. The arena went silent. Hundreds of hunters stared at the human boy, bruised, tired, panting, who had just defeated a titan-level beast with his bare hands. One whispered, "He is not prey." Another whispered, "He is becoming a hunter." A third whispered, "If he continues, he will surpass us." The hunter commander clenched his jaw. His voice thundered, "Enough games, I will handle him myself." Gasps rose. The commander never entered the arena himself. But this human had forced his hand. Star Evans unlocking the power inside Evan stood up again. He felt strange. His arms buzzed with power. His heartbeat grew stronger. His vision sharpened. The forest seemed clearer, brighter. Something inside him was unlocking. He whispered, "Why do I feel stronger every time I fight?" As if answering, a faint blue pattern glowed on his skin, the same symbols from the ancient cave. Evan stared at them. "You again?" The symbols pulsed. Deep in his mind, a faint voice whispered, "Awaken what you are." Evan clenched his fists. "I don't know what I am," but this was not fear talking. It was curiosity, fire, strength. For the first time, Evan wanted to fight. Star the commander enters. Everything went silent. Hunters stepped back, clearing the area. The sky dimmed. The arena walls glowed red. A tall figure descended from the sky like a falling shadow, the hunter commander himself. His armor shifted like living shadows. His mask glowed with 3 burning red eyes. His presence pressed down like gravity. Evan looked up. The commander towered over him. "Big guy, huh?" The commander growled. "Human, your games end here." Evan smirked slightly. "My games? Dude, you kidnapped me." The commander leaned close. "You are dangerous. You should not exist." Evan wiped dirt from his face. "Yeah, well, I didn't ask to." The commander drew his weapon, a long blade made of pure energy. He pointed it toward Evan's throat. "Prepare, this will be your final breath." Evan raised his glowing fists. "Come try." Star cliffhanger. The commander's blade hummed with deadly power. Evan's hands glowed brighter than ever. The air between them cracked with energy. A true battle was about to begin. A battle where Sparkles, the strongest hunter in the galaxy vs. Sparkles, a human boy who keeps getting stronger. The arena shook, and the commander whispered, "Let the final hunt begin." The arena had never been this silent. Hundreds of hunters watched from the shadows, their weapons ready, their armor humming, but none dared move, none dared speak. Because in the center of the broken forest, face to face, stood 2 figures, Sparkles Evan, the human boy who refused to die, Sparkles the hunter commander, the most feared warrior in the galaxy. The air between them shimmered like heated glass. The ground cracked under the pressure of their energy. The commander's blade glowed like a small sun. Evan's hands glowed like burning blue fire. The final hunt had begun. Star the commander strikes first. There was no warning. The commander blurred forward with impossible speed, his blade carving a bright arc in the air. The impact shattered stone trees behind Evan, and that was only from the wind of the strike. Evan dodged, but barely. The blade missed his cheek by inches. He felt the heat of it like holding his face near an oven. "Whoa, relax with that thing," he yelled. The commander did not relax. He swung again faster. Evan ducked. He jumped back. He rolled. He blocked with his forearms, sparks flying as metal met glowing energy. Evan gritted his teeth. "I'm going to need a bigger plan." Star the commander's power unleashed. The commander slammed his blade into the ground. Boom! A shockwave tore through the arena, sending dirt, stone, and glowing leaves flying into the sky. Evan was thrown backward and crashed into a cracked boulder. Pain shot through his ribs. He groaned. "Okay, that hurt." He He tried to stand, but the commander was already there, blade raised high. Evan barely had time to cross his arms. Clang! The blade hit Evan's glowing hands. The entire forest lit up. The ground broke beneath Evan's feet, his shoes tore, his arms shook violently. The commander pushed harder. You cannot win, human. Evan grit his teeth. Stop calling me human. He pushed back with all his strength. The blade cracked just a little, but enough to make the commander freeze. He whispered, impossible. Star Evan's power evolves. Evan leaped back, breathing hard. His arms glowed brighter, not blue this time, but a bright white blue like lightning trapped in skin. His veins shone like tiny circuits. The symbols from the ancient cave pulsed on his forearms. Evan looked at his own hands, shocked. What is happening to me? The commander stared. That power, it belongs only to the first ones. Evan blinked. The who? The ancients, the original hunters, extinct for thousands of years. Evan pointed to himself. Do you think I'm one of them? The commander growled. You are something worse. Evan shrugged. Cool, I'll take that as a compliment. Star, the battle gets serious. The commander roared, a terrifying metallic sound, and charged again. Evan had no choice. He ran straight at him. Their attacks collided in the center of the arena. Boom! The shockwave blew hunters off their feet in the audience. The sky projection glitched. The arena walls cracked. The Titan beast's corpse rolled from the force. Evan slid back on the dirt, leaving deep trails behind him. His hands smoked. His breath came in sharp gasps. The commander slammed his blade into the ground, creating a crater. Evan barely avoided it. The commander was growing angry. His voice shattered the air. Why do you fight like a first one? Evan yelled back, I don't know who that is. I didn't ask for this power. The commander struck again. Evan blocked. Light exploded. The forest trembled. Hunters gasped. Star, the revelation, the secret of the humans between strikes. The commander spoke in a low, dangerous tone. The first ones vanished thousands of cycles ago, but legends say they left something behind, a seed, a gift, a curse. Evan shoved his glowing fists forward, breaking the commander's guard. What kind of gift? The commander whipped around and struck again. Evan dodged. A seed hidden inside a newborn species waiting. Evan kicked the commander's knee. The commander staggered, waiting to awaken. Evan's stomach twisted. No, you're lying. The commander's voice cracked with fury. We examined Earth's history. Humans evolved too fast, too violently, too unpredictably. He pointed his blade at Evan. Now I know why. Evan shook his head. No, that can't be true. His breathing quickened. He wasn't special. He wasn't strong. He was a normal, grumpy teenager, so why did he have this power? Why him? Star, the commander's final form. The commander roared, lifting his blade to the sky. His armor expanded. His eyes glowed white-hot. His body grew taller, broader, more monstrous. Hunters watching from the platforms fell to their knees. The commander has entered ascension mode. He will destroy the human. No one survives his final form. Evan whispered, oh, that's just wonderful. The commander pointed his blade. Now, boy, I end your existence. He charged, faster than ever. Evan tried to block, too slow. The commander slashed him across the chest. Evan flew back, landing in the dirt, coughing. Blood stained his shirt. Pain tore through his body. He moaned, okay, that one really sucked. The commander approached slowly. Stay down, your fight is over. Evan wiped blood from his lip. No, he stood up, legs shaking. I'm not done. The commander shook his head. Humans never know when to give up. Evan smiled weakly. And you never met me. Star, Evan's true power breaks free. The symbols on Evan's skin began to shine brighter. His heartbeat slowed, then deepened. The air vibrated around him. Leaves floated upward. Dust circled him. Electricity arced across his arms. The commander stepped back, actually stepped back. No, he is awakening. Evan didn't hear him. He was somewhere else, somewhere deeper, inside the cave, inside the symbols, inside the voice that whispered earlier, a voice he now understood. Voice that said, you are the echo of the first ones. You are the hunter reborn. Evan opened his eyes. They glowed bright white blue. He spoke softly, I get it now. Star, the final clash. Evan walked forward, each step cracking the ground. The commander roared and charged again, blade burning hotter than fire. Evan didn't dodge. He caught the commander's blade with one glowing hand. Every hunter inhaled sharply. He held the blade with one hand and stopped it. The commander trembled. Impossible. Evan's voice was calm. You're strong, I'll give you that, but you made one mistake. He pushed the blade aside like it was nothing. You forgot the first rule of hunting. He curled his glowing fist. Never corner something until you know what it is. He punched the commander in the chest. Krrrrash. The explosion was so massive the arena walls shattered. The sky projection broke. Hunters flew backward. Trees vaporized. The ground split open. The commander slammed into the remains of a stone mountain. Silence. Smoke filled the air. Evan stood in the crater he created, breathing slowly, calm, alive. Star, cliffhanger. The dust settled. The commander didn't rise. Hunters stared in terror. A whisper spread through the arena. He defeated the commander. He defeated the strongest of us. That human is a monster. Evan looked down at his glowing hands and whispered, what am I becoming? Silence dropped over the arena like a falling curtain. The hunter commander, the strongest being in the galaxy, the warlord feared by thousands of worlds, lay in the ruins of a shattered mountain. His armor cracked, his mask broken, his body unmoving. Evan stood in the smoking crater, breathing slowly. His hands dimmed from bright white blue to a soft glow. His heartbeat returned to normal. But inside, something had changed forever. He whispered, "Is it over?" Hunters surrounding the arena didn't speak. They didn't move. They didn't breathe. They were staring at a human boy who had done the impossible. A hunter dropped his weapon. Another fell to one knee. Soon dozens followed, their armor clattering in perfect silence. But one hunter, a tall elite with red-tinted armor, stepped forward and shouted, "He killed our commander. He must die." The hunters turned toward him. Evan raised an eyebrow. "Oh great, another angry guy. Haven't had enough of those today." The red-armored hunter growled, "We cannot bow to a human. We are hunters. We choose the strongest." Not. He stopped. Because Evan's eyes glowed faintly again, the hunter took one small step backward. Evan stepped forward. "I didn't come here to be your leader or your enemy," he said. "I didn't ask for this fight. I didn't ask for any of this." His voice echoed clearly. "But I'm not going to let anyone control me, not you. Not your commander, no one." The red-armored hunter clenched his fists. "Then prove your right to survive." Evan sighed. "You guys seriously never stop, huh?" Star the commander speaks again. A low sound rose from the ruins. Rubble shifted. Dust clouds parted. A broken claw grabbed at the stone. The commander was getting up. Hunters gasped and stumbled back. Evan's eyes widened. "You've got to be kidding me." The commander rose, barely standing, armor crushed. Sparks flickering from his chest, but his glowing eyes still burned with pride and something new, respect. He stared at Evan, his voice weak but deep. "Enough." The red-armored hunter froze. "But commander, enough." The command shook the entire arena. The commander took one shaking step forward. "This boy is not prey." He looked at Evan with a strange expression, something no hunter had ever shown a human. "Honor. He defeated me. He earned our respect." The commander turned to the gathered hunters. "By the ancient law of the hunt we bow." Silence, then a heavy sound. Thud. The commander knelt. Every hunter in the arena followed. Thud, thud, thud. Evan stood stunned. "Oh, can you all get up? This is super weird." But none rose. "Star the truth. What Evan really is." The commander lifted his head. "Human, do you understand what you are?" Evan shook his head. "I'm just a kid. I oversleep. I fail math. I like snacks." The commander's mask cracked apart, revealing a face scarred by 1,000 battles. "You are the echo of the first ones, a dormant power hidden in your species for millennia. Only 1 in 10 billion humans carries the seed. You are that one." Evan blinked. "Why me? I'm not special." The commander shook his head. "Strength does not come from perfection. It comes from struggle, anger, pain, survival." Evan looked at his hands. "How do I turn it off?" The commander raised an eyebrow. "Why would you?" Evan sighed deeply. "Because I want to go home. I want normal. I want my rooftop, my music, my bed." The commander stepped closer. "You cannot return as normal, human. You are more than that now." Evan clenched his fists. "I don't care." Star the hunters make a choice. The hunters stood, their eyes glowing with a mix of fear and awe. One of them stepped forward. "Human, what will you do to us?" The entire arena held its breath. Evan looked at them, giant warriors, monsters, killers, and then at the shattered arena around him. He shrugged. "Nothing." Gasps echoed. Evan continued, "I'm not here to conquer anything. I'm not here for revenge. I just want to go home." The hunters exchanged looks. Never in their history had the strongest chosen mercy. The commander nodded slowly. "Then Earth shall be free." He raised his hand. "I declare the hunt complete. The human wins." A thunderous sound filled the arena, the ancient gong of the hunter's law echoing for the first time in centuries. Star the portal home. A massive pillar of light opened behind Evan, the portal back to Earth. Wind rushed around him, carrying dust, leaves, stones. He stared at the shimmering doorway. "Is that it? I just walk through?" The commander nodded. "Go, but know this, the galaxy will remember your name." Evan scratched his head. Maybe don't tell the galaxy about me." The commander smirked slightly. Too late. Evan walked toward the portal, but stopped halfway. He turned back. "Hey, Commander." The giant raised an eyebrow. Evan smiled. "You're not a bad guy, just annoying." The commander let out a low, amused growl. "And you, human, are the most irritating creature I have ever met." Evan shrugged. "Thanks." He stepped into the portal. Star returned to Earth. Light swallowed him. Then Evan collapsed onto soft grass. Warm sunlight hit his face. Birds chirped. Cars honked in the distance. Earth, he was home. He looked around. He was standing in his own neighborhood, right next to the rooftop ladder. His mom opened the door. "Evan, where were you?" Evan stared, trying not to panic. Nowhere, just out." "Out where?" Evan shoved his hands in his pockets. "Just hunting." His mom frowned. "Hunting with who?" Evan whispered. "Aliens." She rolled her eyes. "No more video games at night." Evan sighed in relief. "Yeah, sure, no problem." Star the final twist. Someone is watching that night. Evan lay on his rooftop again, headphones on, staring at the stars. He whispered, "I'm normal again, right?" His hands remained dark and quiet. No glow, no symbols, nothing. His phone buzzed. A new unknown message. "We are watching, Evan. Your hunt is not over." Evan sat up. "What? Who?" Another message appeared. "The first ones are not extinct." Evan's heart froze. A third message. "They are coming." Evan whispered to the stars. "Oh, come on, seriously." In the distance, far beyond Earth's skies, something enormous moved, something ancient, and it was coming for him.